He was about Steve shoot the heck. Even when you have him around, and I get and I knew, but it might by she had to yeah, they see my neck. Yeah.
You're on mute, Judge. Thank you. All right, I'm getting ready to start a recording, so I can hear you all in the room while you're talking. So I'm getting ready to start a recording as well as give you some instructions before we get started. So bear with me. All right, good morning. I am Judge Pitts. Again, I'm going to give you some brief information before we actually get started. You do have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one may be appointed to represent you. Those of you who have filled out the application, some have already been approved. You may not have had an opportunity yet to speak with the court-appointed attorney since the appointments were just recently made, but he will speak with you at the end of the calendar. If you are not going to be appointed to the public defender, it's because you either did not provide me with enough information or you did not qualify. So for the purpose of today's hearing, you will be representing yourself. You also have the right to a trial. At your trial, you have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine all witnesses that the city might bring to testify against you. You have the right to bring your own witnesses, and you have the right to testify on your own behalf. You also have the absolute right to remain silent and to know that your silence will not be held against you. Today, you're here for a first appearance. What that means is you are here for me to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and give you your next court date. You do, however, have a right to have a probable cause or a preliminary hearing. At that hearing, the officer will be present, possibly any victims and witnesses. Everyone will have a chance to be heard. The court at that time will determine whether a crime was committed and whether it's more likely than not you are the person who committed the crime. If the court finds that there is probable cause, the case goes to the next step. If there is no probable cause, then the charges are dismissed. That does not take place today. That hearing must be specially scheduled. Again, for the purpose of today's hearing, you're here to find out your charges, your bond amount, and your next court date. All right. Since I see someone already sitting at the window, sir, if you can tell me your name.
Charles Lawson, Charles Lawson.
All right, Mr. Lawson, you're here on charge of criminal trespass as well as a criminal contempt. The contempt is regarding the stay away order that you're alleged to have violated by returning to the property. Your bond amount on each charge is $1,000 for a total of $2,000. You have been appointed to the public defender or court-appointed attorney, who is Attorney Dabney. Attorney Dabney, I don't know whether you've had a chance to speak with any of them.
Good morning, Your Honor. And no, I have not.
Okay.
I haven't, but I did receive the email of everybody that you did appoint.
Okay. All right. Would you like this reset for Wednesday?
Yes, Your Honor. That'll give me enough time to speak with him and see if he'll be able to bond out.
All right. And I was going to ask Mr. Lawson, will you be able to bond out?
I should be.
You should be able to?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The order that's telling you to stay away from that location, which I believe is the CVS, that order still remains in effect. That's why you're here in violation of that order. So you cannot go back to that location. Do you understand?
Can't go ahead, even if I'm gonna need my time served.
I'm sorry?
You might need like time served. I can't go back there.
You have not had time served, sir. There's not been a resolution on these charges. The public defender hasn't spoke with you. So you don't have time served.
Yeah, I'm talking about I went to jail last time. I went up there to I did time served for my last
No,
CBS.
no, sir. This, you still have a stay away order that's in effect.
So when
So you-
when that would be open?
Once you speak with your attorney, he'll give you further instructions. He'll give you some additional information.
We'll talk about it, Mr. Lawson.
And just so we're clear, if I need to put a new stay away order in effect, I will do that as well. So Ms. Fan, if you can prepare another stay away so that everything and everyone is clear that he still has the stay away order from that location of CVS.
Yeah, I'm talking about, I said, if I did time serve, when can I come back to CBS?
Mr.
No.
Lawson, as of today, you cannot go back to the CVS. You will speak with your attorney between today and Wednesday, and he will give you further information about if and when you can go back to CVS, okay?
That got burned out.
I'm sorry?
You can give me like my reason to go back to CBS if I can't go back.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. You don't have to lean over, just speak, sit right there and tell me what you're saying.
You said about I was speaking to my attorney Wednesday, and he would tell me further when I can't, when can I go back to CBS?
Correct. He'll let you know on Wednesday,
Okay.
okay? All right, thank you, sir. All right, last name Alexandra.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm well, sir, give me one moment. Let's see, I need to- All right, Stevenson, is it Alexandre or Alexander?
Alexandre. Correct.
Okay, Mr. Alexandre, you have two charges, a theft by shoplifting and a failure to appear. Your original theft by shoplifting was from July of 2020. You failed to appear in court December 21st, 2020. That's why you have the failure to appear. Your bond on each of the charges, the theft by shoplifting as well as the failure to appear, is $1,000 each for a total of $2,000. Will you be able to post bond?
No, not right now, man.
All right,
Yeah.
you also have been appointed to the public defender. So counsel, you want this also reset for Wednesday?
Yes, Your Honor. That'll give me enough time to speak with him.
All right, so Mr. Alexandre, you'll be brought back on Wednesday and the attorney will speak with you between now and that date, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jericho Daniels or Jericho Daniels. Mr. Daniels, you have a charge of loitering under a state code. You are going to have your bond amount is going to be set at $2,000 with special conditions to stay away from or not to return to 1405 Elizabeth Lane. Will you be able to post bond? Mr. Daniels?
Oh,
All right, you have been appointed to be represented by the public. Actually, I did not appoint Mr. Daniels. Mr. Daniels, I have a couple of questions for you because you didn't put any information on your application. So give me one moment. Oh, no, I did appoint. Okay. I have a question mark on my sheet. All right, Mr. Daniels, so I did appoint you to the public defender. So like everyone else, he's going to speak with you between now and Wednesday. Do you have any questions? You have to speak up, sir.
Not that I can think of right now. I can't think.
All right. All right. Well, if you do think of any, you can ask your attorney when you speak with him, okay? Okay.
You had a question for me for my paper?
No, I looked at my notes. I did appoint you to the public defender. Do you have any questions? Sir, you'll have to speak up. I can't hear you.
No, I can't think of any questions right now, but I have questions, but right now I can't think of it.
Okay, well, then you can speak with your attorney about and ask him your questions, okay? All right, thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, you said the bond amount is 2,000 or 1,000?
2,000.
Okay.
The question is, I'll come back to court for, how does this work?
When you come back to court on Wednesday, you would have already spoken with your attorney. So whatever questions you have between now and then, you can ask the attorney. The reason you're coming back is because you're saying you cannot post bond. So your attorney will speak with you about that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Elijah Geis. Mr. Geis, you're here on a probation violation. Your underlying charges were suspended license, following too close, and a DUI. Are you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You also have been appointed to the public defender. You want this on Wednesday as well? I see it, Mr. Golston, Officer Golston is on the line as well.
Yes, just until I'm able to speak with my client as well as Officer Golston, it might be something that we're able to resolve and we can send an order to you via email, but just Wednesday, just to make sure it doesn't fall through inspection.
All right, thank you. Mr. Geis, do you have any questions?
No, so I'll just wait till Wednesday and talk to you guys to come back.
Well, your attorney is probably going to speak with you prior to that, before Wednesday. Okay? All right, thank you, sir.
Any other, sir?
Wisdom Major. Mr. Major, you have one charge of disorderly conduct. Your bond amount is $1,000. Will you be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you did fill out an application, but there was not enough information for me to determine whether you qualify for a court-appointed counsel. Do you want to me to do that now, or do you want to just bond out and come back to court and reconsider and ask for a court-appointed attorney at that time?
Find out, come back.
Okay, so you're definitely going to be able to post bond. Is that right?
Do a bonding company, yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Your bond amount is $1,000. If you're not able to post bond, you'll be brought back on Wednesday. Otherwise, your next court date is going to be what's on your citation that you should receive a copy of before you leave, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you. Give me 1 second. Let me look at something on Major Wisdom. One moment, Mr. Wisdom. I want to look at one thing on your case.
It says something about that you can get like a signature bond. They don't do that no more?
No, sir, I'm not granting a signature bond at this time. Give me 1 moment. Okay, I'm also going to have special conditions for you to stay away from the checkers on Camp Creek. This is 3169 Camp Creek Parkway. All right, so you have additional conditions. You cannot go back to that checkers on Camp Creek Parkway. Do you understand?
Sounds fair.
I'm sorry?
Sounds fair. Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any other questions?
Ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Desmond Taylor. Mr. Taylor, you have one charge of criminal trespass with a $1,000 bond. Will you be able to post bond?
Okay, I don't get what she just said.
I'm sorry?
I don't get what you just said.
You have a charge of criminal trespass. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, but why?
You were on criminal trespass, damage to property on Blount Street. You're alleged to have broke a window. You understand?
Yes.
All right. You're going to have special conditions to stay away from 2868 Blount Street. And I see that is your same address. Who lives there?
My mama, my sister, and her 2 daughters.
Okay, well, as of right now, you are not able to go back. Give me 1 second.
Well, that's my own house.
Yeah, right now you cannot go back to that address. You have someplace else you're able to go?
I'll ask my other sister.
Okay. And you
I
were,
can assist him with that as well, Your Honor.
okay, I was gonna say he was appointed to you as well.
Mhm.
And you said that you're not going to be able to bond out, Mr. Taylor?
No, that
I think it's breaking up.
go.
Yeah, it's breaking up. Can you, if you'll do me a favor and just sit still, because sometimes it's difficult for the microphone to pick up when you move around. Did you say you are or are not able to bond out?
I can stay with my other sister.
But what I'm asking you are you going to be able to pay the money to get out of jail or to get out of to get out of jail?
I don't know what she's talking about at this point.
Okay, Mr. Blount, you all do not, please, you cannot instruct him unless you have a license to practice law in Georgia. You're sitting in the jail room right now, is that correct? Mr. Blount? Mr. Blount, do you know where you are?
It's Mr. Taylor, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Mr. Taylor. I'm saying it's Blount Street. Mr. Taylor, do you know where you are right now?
Yes.
Okay, in order to get out of where you are, you have to pay some money. Are you able to do that?
Like who gets my check is my mama.
All right, I'm sorry. I see that you're trying to say something, but with your moving around, I'm not being able to hear what you're saying. So you have to stay still. Did you say you will or will not be able to pay the money to?
I will, but who gets my check is my mama.
Okay. So maybe you and maybe with the Attorney Dabney will work with you and your sister to see if they can work that out for you, okay?
Yes.
All right, if you're still here, we'll bring you back out on Wednesday to see how we can resolve it, all right? All right, all right, so Ms. Fain, I'm gonna need Mr. Lawson and Mr. Taylor to stay behind for a second. Everyone else can be sent back.
Okay.
I have 2 questions, well,
Okay.
a question.
And is Mr. Robinson in there? He should have come out as well.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I skip over Robinson?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Mr. Robinson. Come on up, Mr. Robinson. I apologize.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. Give me 1 second. I skipped right over you. I apologize. All right, Shahid Robinson, You have a charge of disorderly conduct and failure to appear. Let's see. You failed to appear in court on January 10th of 2022. Your bond is set $500 on the disorderly conduct and $1,000 on the failure to appear. Will you be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am. I will be able to post bond, but this is the situation. However, however it goes, but I need to get out because my car was impounded and I was just made rent. And I've been in here since Thursday night and it's accumulating and I don't even know how I'm going to get that. So I could probably post bond, but I don't really know how it's gonna work out, but I gotta get out of here because I gotta get my car out. The car note on
Okay,
that.
I understand. So what happens is you'll have to post bond in order to be released.
So I can. How am I'm already straight. I gotta still get my car. I can't. This is a FTA and a disorderly conduct. I can't get a signature bond to save like my life.
No,
is
sir.
about being troubled.
You will not be getting a signature bond for the simple fact that you failed to appear in court initially. Why would I then give you, sir, let me finish responding. Why would I give you a signature bond when you already missed court?
I understand exactly what you're saying. The 1373 Convent Drive, I don't live there no more. I live at
Okay,
765
whatever
Main
address
Street.
we have is where any notices will go. If you move, it's your responsibility to inform the court that you've moved. Otherwise, we only send notice to the address that we have. So if you move between the time you got your original citation or court date and did not give us a new address, then the responsibility is on you and the failure to appear would be valid.
So you can't see the time difference though. How was I supposed to even? I mean, it can't be no like understanding and leniency on that.
No, sir. It's your responsibility to come to the court.
But
when
the
you
time
move.
frame though.
Again, it's
I'm
your
about to
responsibility.
lose everything. I'm about to lose everything. I don't know what I'm going to do. That's what I'm basically saying. The car is accumulating, and it was up there in Cobb County. So ain't no telling what their hookup fee was. And then from Thursday all the way to now, it was an additional fee. I just paid my rent, so I'm going to lose everything. I don't even know how to pay
Sorry,
the permit.
listen, I'm sorry to hear that, but I will not be granting a signature bond. The failure to appear is valid, regardless of the time frame, unless there's some proof that you were incarcerated somewhere or there's a valid reason for you to have missed court. That failure to appear will stand. The time frame has nothing to do with it. If you moved and you got a notice at the address that we originally had and you didn't give us a new address, it would have gone to that old address. Now, whether or not you had it forwarded, whether or not somebody lived there, I can't respond to that. But if it was because the notice went to your old address and you didn't get it, that's your responsibility.
So can I pay with my own money?
For the bond?
Yes.
Sure. The jail will tell you exactly how much you have to pay. If you're going to pay through the jail with this, whatever the $1,500 plus whatever their fee, or you can go through a bonding company.
It's not cash, it's on the debit card.
You'll have to talk with the jail there to see how they'll handle that. Okay.
Can I do that with a debit card?
All right. Thank you, sir. Miss Fane, on Mr. Daniels, actually, Mr. Robinson is probably going to be an issue too. Was Mr. Daniels brought out before today?
No, Mr. Daniels' first appearance is today. But we do have a warrant in reference to him.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Mm-hmm.
And what about because I didn't see any warrants in the system. What about Mr. Lawson?
Same announcement. We're receiving those copies from the jail. So they'll be scanned into courtware, but both of them do have warrants.
Okay. All right. Oh, and then Taylor, that was the other question on Taylor. There's a warrant on Taylor as well.
Yes.
Okay. All right, then I'm good, everyone.
You ain't see the agenda yet.
I haven't spoken to you.
Let me look at, while I'm waiting, I'm gonna look at some histories while I'm waiting for them to be released in case I want to do anything different. Are histories in the system?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Excuse me, ma'am.
one moment.
My sister, I'm not gonna. Breaking out of there, that's. It is.
Sir, you are?
Jamaica Whitehurst.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yes, you haven't,
I haven't called you. Okay, I was looking at that name. I guess I thought that was a female. Give me a second. Thank you. D'Amica Whitehurst.
ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. You have a charge of theft by shoplifting and a failure to appear as well. Your failure to appear date was February 22nd, 2021. So you have $1,000 bond on each charge for a total of $2,000. Are you going to be able to post bond?
No, ma'am.
Your case is going to be reset for Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am.
I do not have a application for court appointed, so you're going to be representing yourself?
You never gave me one. Yes, yes.
I'm sorry, say that again?
They never gave me an application, ma'am.
So are you going to be asking for a court appointed attorney or will you be representing yourself?
Asking for a court appointed.
Okay, so I'll make sure that you get the application for consideration, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir, and thank you for stepping up. I overlooked that. I overlooked you. All right, thank you. Let's see.
Excuse me, ma'am.
One moment. Ms. Fain, did your courtware just stop working?
No, ma'am.
And mine is not doing anything. Let me try again.
Okay. If not, you might have to close it out and just reopen a new one.
There we go. Issue if I close it out. Okay, there we go.
Hello?
One moment. All right, and who's asking? Someone has a question? You are, sir. I don't know who you are. You are.
Shaheed Robinson.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to find out dates. No, I'm trying to find out what date is this charge for?
The date of the incident is November 20th, 2021.
November 20th, 2021.
Correct.
And I was just now getting a court date release?
No, sir. You had a court date that you missed. That court date was January 10th, 2022.
Okay, so and after that, that's when the warrant was issued?
That's correct.
All right. Okay, so how can I go and pay?
So we need to make sure that Mr. Whitehurst gets an application. He said they didn't hand him one.
Yes, ma'am, I'll make sure.
Okay. And
In regards to Mr. Lawson, there is a stay away order already in place for the CVS. Its expiration date is July 11th, I believe.
July 11th of this year.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine. He'll be back on the calendar before then.
Let me just double check that date. Yes, July 11th of 2023. So
Okay.
It's on the first ticket with that contempt charge. So did you just want to extend the date on that one, or that's fine as of right now?
No, you said it expires July 23rd, 2023, correct?
July 11th. Mhm.
Right, July 11th. It
Yes,
will
ma'am.
be, it will still be in effect when he comes back to court, correct? Because he'll be back on Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am. I just didn't know if you want to extend that date out or not. So-
No, that'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll decide on Wednesday if it needs to be extended.
Okay.
Because his next court date would be, is it going to be, if he does find out, is his court date going to be after July?
If he bonds out, his next court date is July 17th.
Okay. Oh, July 17th. That's after.
Yes, ma'am. So the so the ban order would actually be expired when he comes back to court.
Okay. So we'll look at it on Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning. Are you Ms. Craddock? Right, I'm Judge Pitts. I'm gonna give you some general information before I get started, okay? First of all, you are here for a first appearance, which means you're here for me to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and give your next court date. You do have certain rights. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one may be appointed to represent you. I have already reviewed your application, and you are going to be appointed to the public defender, to the court-appointed attorney. But you do have a right to a trial. At your trial, you have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses that the city might bring to testify against you. You have the right to bring your own witnesses, and you have the right to testify on your own behalf. You also have the absolute right to remain silent and to know that your silence will not be held against you. In addition, you have the right to have a probable cause or a preliminary hearing. At that hearing, the officer will be present, possibly any victims or witnesses. Everyone will have a chance to be heard, and the court will determine whether a crime has been committed, and if you are the person who more than likely committed that crime. If the court finds that there is probable cause, then the case moves to the next step. If there is no probable cause, then the charges are dismissed. Do you understand? Now you'll have to speak up. All right. Okay, thank you. All right, you're here on 3 charges, one for driving under the influence, 2 charges, open container and driving under the influence. Your bond on the DUI is going to be it's $1,000. Let me just check one thing before I say that definitively. One moment, ma'am. I'm checking your history. Give me a second. All right. So yes, your charges, again, DUI and open container. The bond on the driving under the influence is $1,000, and the open container, you'll receive a copy of charges. Will you be able to post bond? I'm having a difficult time hearing you, Ms. Craddock.
I'm able to sign myself out.
No, ma'am, I am not granting a signature bond on the driving under the influence. You will have to post bond by going through a bonding company or paying the amount in full to the jail.
Okay, I can do either.
You said you will be able to post bond? Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Your attorney Dabney will speak with you either prior to you leaving the jail or once you are released, okay? Do you have any questions? Ma'am, do me a favor. I think if you sit back from the window, that might, okay. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. All right. If you are still here, you'll be brought back out on Wednesday. Otherwise, your next court date is going to be the court date on the copy of your citation that you should receive before you leave. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, that's it, ma'am. Thank you. Unless Attorney Dabney, you want to say anything to her? You're on mute, Attorney Dabney.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will be giving you a phone call later today, Ms. Craddock, just to discuss your case and possible outcomes, as well as helping you try to bond out, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm going to stop the recording, but Ms. Fan, if you'll remain on a second, since we're done with court. Court is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Y'all have a good day.